a 50-50 draw on the set of numbers. Hi everybody, how's it going? Oh, I didn't ask Failure yet. But okay, I guess... I guess we could skip the audio chat. Oh yeah, so for this stream, I did put some links in the description to donate to some charities that I thought would be good that kind of went with today's theme of dogs. Let me pull it up. Hang on. Oh god, I sound old. Oh god. Yeah, so reason behind that is because we are gonna do some reactions to service dogs, and how they're treated. I put a few. I looked these up. These are the few that I looked up that what's the word? Checked. I double checked to make sure these were good charities to donate to. We have K9 for Warriors, which is a, let me pull it up. It's for veterans that suffer from PTSD and other issues. These help get dogs trained so they can help their owners who are veterans. Sorry, I'm stuttering a lot today. Then we have the needs. I had these up, so I could kind of cheat, but like, world class. Oh, shut up! No. Okay. World class dog service dogs changed lives. These are to help people get affordable service dogs who have because a lot of people who have service dogs have issues like cardiac issues, issues with seizures and stuff like that, epileptic. So these make it more affordable for them to get these dogs. And they also help with like people who suffer from autism. Then we also have 4 Paws for Ability. I think it is. Yes. Yeah. Donations from help provide food, veterinary care, and other essentials as we prepare each service dog to go to someone who needs them. So I wanted to have those in the link below. So since it is a tie, I will be the tiebreaker. We're gonna go with 5, and you guys picked whatever video we are starting. I am so sorry. This is the start screen. Hang on,
So I just got back from...
Okay. So this is actually from Taylor and the Furry Trio Montana Adventures. Kind of going over her day. Why am I frozen? Why did you not tell me my VTuber was frozen? Why did you not tell me this? She really was. Wow. No wonder people left the stream. Failure. Failure. Anyway, so we're gonna see her video on high school field trip with a service dog and see what they have to go through. But yeah. So
school and the store. Tomorrow I have a school field trip out of town, so it's going to be about a 2-hour drive there. We're going to a museum, and then we're staying there, and then 2 hours back. So I just got back from the store, got myself some lunch and some snacks. Okay. But yeah, I thought I would take you along on a high school field trip with a service dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I look crazy.
I will say, I am so sorry.
Good morning.
I am there. Okay. I can't go wrong with a dog right there. All right, for applause frame. So, at least in the US, I'm not sure overseas and such, having a service dog has so many challenges, just because people aren't educated on how service dogs are supposed to be. I know some places such as, what was I gonna say? Restaurants and stuff, there's regulations for service dogs to go into restaurants and all this stuff. They have to be very well behaved. They have to kind of almost be out of sight. So of course you're gonna see a dog walking around, but by out of sight I mean I'm out of sight and out of the way. So if I were to go to a restaurant with a service dog, my dog would not be able to sit at the table with me like some people try to do. They would have to be tucked under the chair and out of the way where they are barely noticed. There are a few exceptions of people getting kicked out because of service dogs, which is if they make a disturbance in the business, if they go potty in the business, they are legally able to ask them to leave, but there is ADA regulations. I actually have them right here. You're welcome. I see I'm prepared today. Overview. The publication provides guidance, and this is from the government website. So, beginning on March 15, 2011, only dogs are recognized as service animals under the Title II and Title III of the ADA. A service animal is a dog that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for a person with disabilities. Generally, Title II and Title III entries must permit service animals to accompany people with disabilities in all areas where members of the public are allowed to go. Yes, very prepared. So service dogs have public access for the most part. It is very rare where the dog is not allowed to go. For instance, your dog can't go into surgery with you. That is a health issue. Above other things. But this is how a service dog is defined. Service animals are defined as dogs that are individually trained to do work or perform tasks for people with disabilities. So, as example, if I was having a medical emergency and I needed pills or medicine, something to help with it, the dog is trained to go retrieve the medicine and bring it to me. They also might help with mobility issues, such as if I am having issues, if I drop something, I can't get it, they can pick it up for me. If I have PTSD of any sort, and the dog might be trained to do, what, I can't remember what it's called, the official term, but it's a compression. So what they would do is alert that you're having some sort of issue. They would let you go, like, pretty much get you to the ground, like alert you to go sit on the ground. Sorry, brain's not working. And they would do what is it called? A compression technique where they might lay across them. They might, if somebody has a thing where they hit themselves or hurt themselves whenever they're stressed, which is sometimes happens, the dogs might like paw at their hand or pull their hand away from them to prevent them from hurting themselves. Where service animals are allowed under the ADA, the state and local government, businesses, and nonprofit organizations that serve the public generally must allow service animals to accompany people with disabilities in all areas of the facility where the public is allowed to go. So, like, if I go to a restaurant, the dog could be in the dining area with me, but if I'm not allowed in the kitchen, the dog can't come into the kitchen with me. Yeah, there is a lot. I just know a lot of this because I was training back whenever I had really bad PTSD and anxiety and depression. I was training my own service animal, my own service dog. But yes, there is a lot. You can also have a miniature horse as a service animal, but it's not as recognized. There are also, I'm trying to think so people cannot ask, so like a business, if I were to go into a business, there is only 2 questions that they're allowed to ask about my service animal. So they would be like, Hi, is this a service animal to perform a service animal to perform a task for you? A medical task for you, I believe was the wording. And if you say yes, they're allowed to say, they can't ask you what your disability is. That is, can't do that. But you can ask, oh, what task does this dog or this animal perform for you? What medical task does this dog perform for you? Is something along those lines. I might be a little rusty with my questioning. But yeah, you cannot ask what their disability is and all that. Allergies and fear of dogs are not valid reasons for denying access or refusing service to people using service animals. So here's what I was saying earlier. A person with a disability cannot be asked to remove his service. Wow. I'm joking. Remove their service animal from the premises unless 1, the dog is out of control and the handler does not take effective action to control it, or 2, the dog is not housebroken. When these are legitimate reasons to ask a service animal to be removed, staff must offer the person with a disability the opportunity to obtain goods or services without the animal's presence. So those are very big rules. I also have this, if you want to read up more on it, this is in the description as well. So back to this. Sorry, I had to go on that tangent just so you guys had a little bit of context.
He has went outside to go potty, and I gave her some breakfast. She didn't eat it, but she wants to do
This is
something.
very low. Is the volume low? I feel like the volume
It's really
low.
early in the morning. My cat woke me up, so it's like an hour before I was supposed to wake up. So we're just hanging out.
She's
I'm
very
get
soft
ready
spoken.
Here soon. And
is that better?
Play with her a little bit just to make sure that she's zen for the bus ride. And I'll probably show you guys what I am packing. But yeah, that is where we're at right now. Okay, so now that my room is an absolute disaster, it's a good thing that my cat woke me up early because I was having like...
Can make it a little bit louder? Okay. So another thing with... Jesus, I'm so sorry. I wasn't even saying again. It was my energy drink. But yeah, I'm gonna fast forward. Not because she's not lovely, but...
Gray big sweater, which is my pants. But I'm going to show you guys what I am packing for Koki and me for our field trip today. This is the bag that I'm bringing. This is just my school bag. So in this pocket, you can't really see, but this is a foldable bed, just in case we will be doing art and I don't want her laying in a bunch of paint. In here is a portable charger and the cord. In this pocket, I have a water bowl, my school ID, extra poop bags. And here I have her new ball with a biothane like holder rope thingy.
So context why she probably has that. Just like humans, animals need breaks when they're working. These are considered working dogs, so there might be times where she can go outside and let her dog go potty, and they might have free time where her dog could be a dog with supervision of her their classmates and such. So it's not uncommon. Also, just another thing for context, service dogs are not required to wear a vest, and there is no paperwork to have a service, like for a service dog. A lot of people have been buying fake vests and fake paperwork and stuff like that, and there is no paperwork unless you get. And the only paperwork that you would get for a service dog is if you were to get it from a, I don't want to say business, but like a training facility that specializes in service animals. They might give you paperwork saying, oh, they have completed all this. This is their this is their documentation of where they were born, their legitimacy and all that.
And then I have 2 chews because she's picky, so she'll just get 1 probably, but 2 options. Extra treats just in case. I have a ton, but it's a new experience and I want to be prepared just in case.
Okay. Also, a lot of people, because of service dogs, getting them from a like a trainer, essentially, a training facility, is very expensive. So a lot of people end up having to train their own dogs, and it's never stop. Like, you never stop training. That's a thing. If you stop training your dog will start falling into different patterns, and it's not reinforced. So we'll see that throughout the stream.
And then here I have snacks for me. Lastly, I have tissues, a couple sweets just in case I get lightheaded. I have those because, you know, I'm a female. And then extra gum and things. Also bringing my big Hydro Flask just full of water so I can fill it up for Koki or I. And we can both have some.
Beautiful music. I am going to fast forward a bit. She has a very calming voice, by the way. I very much enjoy it. Yeah, so a lot of people have these. A lot of people put vests on their dog so people know not to pet their dog randomly. It's more of a preventive measure because, like, a lot. Oops, sorry, I was itching my nose and my VTuber's like, hi. But it's not very. Service dogs don't need a vest all the time. That's a big thing.
ADA.
So.
Okay, but now I'm going to eat my breakfast. So I'll see you guys later.
Okay. So, if you notice, her service dog is right next to her. That is the distance a service dog needs to be, usually. Because they have to kind of be invisible to the public. Kind of. Like, you know what I mean. Like, they can't be in the way. So, they practice staying right next to them. The dog just checked in with them, which is great. But yeah, like I said, not all service dogs wear vests. It's usually to prevent people from petting their service dog or give information on the ADA guidelines and such. Also, I'm pretty sure most dogs are able to become a service dog. You'll just see a lot of working dogs, such as border collies or German shepherds and such. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit so we kind of see how they act in public. Like I said, actually, I'm gonna leave it but this is the best emote I got. Wish you two had some. Right? So, if you see, they're on the bus right now, tucked right under her. That's very common because they have to be out of the way for other people, essentially. So, alright, I'm gonna pause this because this is a story. So, surprisingly, the hardest dog, I'm gonna go with breeds of dogs. Some of the hardest breeds of dog I ever trained, and people are always surprised, German Shepherds. I used to train at some pet stores. I did dog training outside of my work after I left there. Who's calling me? I can't right now. Mama dearest, I can't. I am currently in stream. But some of the hardest dogs I've trained were German Shepherds because people don't do the research on dogs. People are like, oh, German Shepherds, yeah, they're really cool, they're really pretty, they'll protect my family. No, German Shepherds, if you don't train them properly, are the biggest scaredy cats. And this is coming from somebody who's had a German Shepherd. I have trained multiple German Shepherds. And it's funny because, like, most people are just like, well, I thought pit bull, like, do you not get a lot of pit bulls? No, I've had so many pit bulls I've trained, and all of them were angels. Like, all of them were great. I've almost been mauled by German Shepherds. Yeah, I almost been mauled several times by German Shepherds. My puppy that I was talking about earlier, that I was trained to be a service animal when we were going through puppy training just to get the basics down. He was almost mauled by a German Shepherd because the owners didn't understand how to deal with a German Shepherd. German Shepherds are very intelligent, very what's the word? They're working dogs. If you don't give them a task, they are a mess. They get very anxious. They will chew everything. They will get very aggressive. I had a German Shepherd that somebody wanted to train to be a service dog, and she was 8 months old, never had training, and I looked at them. I'm like, I am so sorry. There's no way, because how anxious she is. She came in screaming. It took me 6 weeks for her to for me to pet the dog. I had to sit on the ground tossing treats while I talked to the owners and explained how to deal with stuff at home to make her better. And when we had that breakthrough, it was night and day, because the dog finally realized how to act, and she got so much less anxious. They worked very hard with her, and it was so funny because I was in the office typing out emails for some of my clients, and I told my I knew I would hear them coming in because they barked. She would start screaming when she came in. And it was so funny because my coworker came in, and they're like, "Hey, your 5 o'clock's here." I'm like, what do you mean my 5 o'clock's here? It's quiet. I go out there, and she was so much better. Like I said, it took 6 weeks. We did an extra training class, just to get her acclimated, and it was probably one of my favorite moments, just seeing this dog transform from a dog that bit the older brother and chased down people to a dog that actually became friends with the older sibling, or the younger, became friends with the eldest son of the family. It was amazing. I love that. But yeah, German Shepherds, hardest dog to train, because most people will not bring me their German Shepherds or bring their German Shepherds to a trainer until they're 8 weeks or 8 months old. I recommend start training as soon as possible. And hello, RJ, how are you? All right, back to this. Back from my tirade. I am so sorry. Wow. All right. Okay, I'm glad that okay, so the bus driver said I wanted to pet him. You are not allowed to pet service animals. I say this, and people are like, well, that's kind of common sense, that will distract the dog. It's not as common as people think. People think, they're like, oh, dogs in public, I can pet, right? Also, I am doing fantabulous. I'm talking about dogs and stuff, so I'm happy. Um, but yeah, cannot pet a service dog if, yep, yep, and it's funny because, like, service dogs technically don't need a vest, but the owners usually put a vest on the dogs to prevent people from bothering the dog. I also say, don't pet a random dog you don't know. Don't pet a random dog you don't know. Get permission first. Otherwise you might get attacked. I've seen it. It's horrible. That was something I taught. I'm gonna end the pool because I forgot to do that earlier. But that was something I taught. Right. I actually had a small class when I did dog training, just with the kids. I brought my dog in because he's good with everybody. Like, he might get a little too excited and hump somebody, but it's very rare. Like, I seen him do it like twice, and I gave him a look, and he stopped. But yeah, that's something I teach kids all the time. I'm like, make sure to ask before you try to pet. If you see a random dog without an owner, do not pet. Go get an adult. Do not run, because that will make the dog chase you. So just walk calmly. If the dog starts, like, seeming aggressive, don't provoke it. Call for an adult. But yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to see more of how this dog reacts in public. I think it's so fascinating because I can always tell who's a service dog and who isn't whenever I see dogs in public. But right there, you see that dog paying attention to the owner, which is great. Keep checking in, looking up at the owner. The dog is tucked right next to them. See how close they are? That's the distance that is pretty much expected from a service dog. While they're doing stuff at a table, tucked under the owner's chair and table, because they need to be out of the way. But you also notice the dog isn't going up to anybody. Very calm. Right there, the dog's able to have a little bit more room because it's tucked in the back.
Good girl, go potty.
Okay, I'm sorry. I find it so funny when dogs do this. Like a female dog, they'll squat and then lift their leg like they're a boy, but they're also squatting. I've seen so many dogs do this, and I cackle every time because it's so funny. Sorry. Anyway. So if you look how much this dog is paying attention to the owner. It cracks me up. I find it so funny.
Okay, so update. We walked through the museum because we got here a little early. Then we did this little like felting thing. We had lunch and we are starting the tour. It's going to be very long. It has already sent me into an episode, so I came in here. This is the bathroom. Here's Koki. She's been really good. She has alerted to my heart rate a couple times, but
okay.
Let's hope that this goes by fast because it's really draining.
So when dogs alert, so depending on what the situation is, with her heart rate, the dog probably what will do is stand in front, sit down, and look up at them to alert, kind of to block their path from walking away. And then if they're not, sometimes the owner is just like, oh no, it's fine, I'm okay at the moment. But the dog will have to persist and go on. So they might bump their hand, if they have sleeves. I've seen some, it's not usually recommended to teach your dog this, but they might tug on your sleeves. I've seen that before. It just depends what's easiest for the dog to get your attention, essentially, when those crisis moments are happening. Okay. That's focus. To get them focused and get their mind working a little bit so they know. Nope, I do that too. Yeah, you see the dog is staying in step with the owner. Also, another misconception, those handles aren't just for blind people. I don't know why people just assume they're for blind people. They are not for just blind people. They're for multiple reasons. I don't know 100% because I don't want to give out misinformation on that topic, but I know some people use it for different reasons. And service dogs aren't just for blind people. So, yeah. Just a little thing.
You're bad person. I'm sorry. I'm a wreck, okay?
Yeah, since she has that whole row to herself, the dog has a little bit more room, but if there was somebody next to her, the dog would have to tuck under the seat a little bit and take this whole area. Unless it was like the person, they knew the person or they were friends with them, they're like, ah, no, that's cool. But yeah. If you see, dog is completely focused on her.
Okay, I don't believe that one.
But if you notice, like all the time, dog does not bark. Dog looks at her, like checks in, looks at her. See right there, check in. And that's actually something I always did with dog training. Whenever, like, even though they don't need to check in for medical things, the check-in's actually really good for dog walking. So your dog does, you know, your dog's focused on you, and that they're making sure you're there. So that's something I always say, check in when they look at you like that.
Okay, y'all, so I am back home. We left here my house around 7:20. It is 3:33 now. I am pooped and so is Koki. The fact that I used to be able to do that with still energy to spare is insane. You never really notice how much.
Yeah, she looks tired. Like, not looks, but like you can tell she's just like, oh god. But that was Taylor and the Furry Trio Montana Adventures. So, yeah. If you want to check out their page, go for it. Next, I actually have a few videos. I am so sorry. We're gonna go with, let's go with this one. This one's a 5-minute video. I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen any of these. Maybe the Korean show, which is called Dogs Are Incredible. I've seen a couple of episodes of that before. But let's see. This is Zach George Dog Training Revolution. Dog Training 101, How to Train Any Dog, the Basics. So, let's see what they do.
This one's particularly interesting, though, because we have tons of big hyper dogs. Now, as you know, I love working with hyper dogs, but trying to convey to people that a hyper dog is a smart dog is sometimes challenging. That's my goal in this class. She looks like a boxer pit mix.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
We're going to teach our dogs how to look at us by using a hand signal. Dogs are heavily responsive to exaggerated body language. So in the beginning, it might look something like, look at me, like this, really, really exaggerated. We have a nice tight training bubble, close eye to eye. Now, I don't know Biscuit too well, and if you were me, you'd be a little cautious about going eye to eye with a dog like this that you did.
Okay, I was just about to say that. Him going that close, depending on... I wouldn't do that as a person who didn't know dogs. If I knew dogs, I would be a little bit more comfortable, but I still wouldn't completely trust the dog right now. But how the dog is laying right now, very relaxed, kind of panting, but the ears look pretty relaxed. Like I said, body kind of relaxed right there, kind of on its side. Usually if a dog's stressed or like unsure, they would be on their, like, more ready to pounce. So, but he did make a point that he, like, don't do this to a random dog that you don't know.
No. Is he good with strangers coming into his area? He is. Okay, very good. Look at me. Yes, very good. Nice work.
Right there.
Right here, eye to eye. I'm gonna hold up the treat, look at me, and since I like what he's doing, I'm gonna click because I like that. Remember,
Perfect.
the click means good dog, I like what you did, you win a prize.
Well, I'm sorry, I keep stopping a lot. Another thing. Hang on. I want to write this so you guys have this up. I'm gonna post a vein. let you guys do that. I wanted to try that feature. So the clicker is just to mark the behavior. Well, I'm glad you're relaxing. The clicker is used to mark behaviors that you like. The reason that people use the clickers is because of it has a very distinct sound. When you hear it, you know it's a clicker. And it's not like you use that sound for a lot of things. I used clickers before. My problem with them is they're very hard to remember to bring for training and such. I usually have it in my dog training bag, but you know, most people don't carry it. I don't carry a dog training bag on the regular. I haven't in a while because I don't dog train as much as I used to. But you can also use words. For instance, like you can say good boy or good girl. Yes, something like that to mark that behavior. Yes is a very good sound also. It's like, yes, good job, good job. Something like that, just to mark it. You also want to mark the behavior that you want within a half a second to a second and a half. Very important because that's going to be the best learning area. So, that's the best learning. All right, one of my questions, what kind of dog treats do you recommend in the US for dogs when training them? So a big thing that I do is I use 3 different types of treats. So there's the low level treat, the medium level treat, and the high value treat. And what that means is depending on the ingredients in the treat, is going to depend on how much the dog is going to like it. So, for instance, what I would do for my dogs whenever I worked with them, I need to get back into that because they're a little shrinks now. But what I do is for my low value treat, I might use a Cheerio because they're not terrible for them. It's actually a pretty okay treat. My dogs respond to it. That's a low level treat. I would use those for like behaviors that they already know that I'm just kind of working on. The more ingredients, the lower value that treat's gonna have. A medium level treat, I would use like after they learned the behavior, but are still kind of rocky on it. But I also like to mix them up because then the dogs don't. You have to figure out a balance of what your dog's going to do. High value treat I use as to get the dog's attention. So those high value treats are usually like one ingredient. I use freeze dried chicken. I used to use freeze dried beef, but we don't keep like those types of dog foods in our house anymore because of my dog. One of my dogs is a Dalmatian. Dalmatians and English bulldogs are more likely to get crystals in their urine and get that kind of stuff because of they can't break down a protein called purine. So we have to watch out for what we can feed them. So with that, I usually use high value treats to get their attention when they do a very good job and do something I really, really like. Yeah, freeze-dried treats, great. My dogs would murder somebody with them. for them, not with them. But and also it depends on the dogs. All dogs are different. They're not all gonna be the same. My dogs are vacuum, so they'll eat anything, but I can tell when, you know. But yeah, so once you're starting weaning off of the high value treats, I start mixing them up with the other treats so they don't know what you're giving them. So like once they learn sit, for instance, we teach them sit, gave them the high value treat. We're like, okay, cool. Let's keep practicing sit. Well, instead of giving the high value treat every single time because they're expecting it and those are expensive, I would go and do. Hang on. So These ones, they just suck up the gills. But I might give them a Cheerio or a very low value treat, a medium value treat, and just mix it up so they never know. So they're kind of forced to listen. So that you don't spend all your money on those expensive treats and so on. So have a husky. Is it possible to teach them off leash? Almost 3. So huskies can learn off leash, but it also depends on the dog. Something I used to tell people is not all dogs are made for certain things. So for instance, not all dogs can be service dogs. It takes a certain dog. If you look at, like, you can actually adopt dogs that failed in dog, like, service dog school, because of they have a trait that wouldn't put them well with a person that needs them. It could put the person in danger or them in danger. So for a husky being off leash, it depends on their temperament, their prey drive, how well they recall. So for instance, Presley, my Dalmatian, he's psychotic. I love him to death. He has a very solid recall. Very good. I would never keep him off leash in public, for safety reasons. Because he has a very high prey drive. About 90 or 85% of the time, I could probably recall him and he would leave the squirrel that he's chasing or something. But there is that 15% where I'm just like, I don't have confidence. And also it could put like somebody else in danger. So like if somebody tries to pet him or something, or they grab him wrong, he might bite. If he, like, he's not aggressive dog by nature, but if he doesn't know you or like you grab him wrong and it kind of hurts, he might nip at you. But that's the same thing with all dogs. They might have a solid recall, but they have a really high prey drive and you're afraid they're not going to listen. I wouldn't put them on, I wouldn't do off leash. I hope that answered that question. I usually try to work on recall right away and try to get that solid when they're puppies. Like right now, my aunt just got a 8-month-old or 8-week-old Morkie, Maltese and Yorkie mix. And we're working on recall right now. She's 8 weeks. I try to get it right away, because once that's programmed in her brain, she's like, oh yeah, I go back. It makes it so much easier to do that off leash stuff. That's kind of what she has. My aunt has like all small dogs, but her daughter has a golden retriever. She's able to recall that dog. It is very hard to not get his attention for recall. Same thing with Sweet Pea, which is a Maltese. She has very solid recall. So, like I said, depends on the dog, the temperament, and a bunch of things. Is it going to be safe for your dog? Is it going to be safe for other people? If you do not have 100% guarantee that dog's coming back when you call, I would not do off leash. Let's see. Sorry, switching back and forth. Yeah, all of them react by nipping first to see reaction. They don't. Yeah, exactly. So like, so those are just very big things to consider when you're looking at if your dog should be off leash or what, and what they're like, what you're training them for, essentially. I always say, always keep your dog on a leash just for safety reasons, because accidents do happen. And if for some reason you turn away and some crazy Karen comes down the street and says your dog bit her, you know, wait, hang on, what's it? Failer, what'd you do? What is this? Hang on. Use this to say peppers are rather towards the organization. Okay. I will, oh yeah. There are links to some charities for service animals that, to help people who can't afford it. Yeah, thank you. Hashtag that failure game.
Failure Gamer donated $5 to save the cyborg fund. Use this to save the puppers, or rather towards an organization. Also, one of the video editing programs I really wanted was $300. That hurt to see. Anyways, I also wanted to tell a story of earlier today. We'll send new dono later cause message is full frown.
There's the alert. Let's go when at the dog park, know my recall and get mad and purposely hide so she can stay outside. Yeah, no, that's my dogs. That's a real struggle. Roscoe will literally sit there. So I'll let them outside in the backyard to go potty, and I'm like waiting. I'm like, Presley, come. He comes straight away. I'm like, yeah, cool, got this. Roscoe will look at me like he doesn't speak English, which he doesn't, but he knows commands. He's a very smart dog. And he'll just stare at me blankly like, blink, blink. And, literally, I'd be like, do you want a treat? Will you come inside for a treat? He'll run straight inside. He's a little shit. This is why he's fat. But anyways, if you want to donate to some of the causes, and charities there's some, the words are hard. Oh God. There are some charities to help, with service animals for people that need them. Canine Warriors, I think it was, for, people who need help with, veterinary, or to help veterans get service dogs for their PTSD and other such things, and so on. So take a look at those. I did some research and made sure they were pretty cool things. Yeah, there we go. Words are hard. Anyways, we'll let this new tip come in.
Failure Gamer donated $10 to save the cyborg fund. Oh my god. Failing mention. Oh god, the dono is echoing. Also, my dad accidentally ate my burger. We went to Burger King. I talked to my BRO and drank Thai tea out of the bag and ate half of it, then went, "Was this your burger?" Me, you son of a bitch.
Jesus Christ. Those are fighting words. Me and my dad would be fighting on that. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's get back to the video.
Look at me. And I'm taking my time getting them the treat. As long as you mark that behavior with the clicker to let them know you like it, or a yes if you're not using the clicker,
Yep,
then you can take your time to give
earlier.
the treat to them. The click marks the behavior, not the treat. The most frustrating thing when working with a hyper dog is that they're so quick. It is on us to speed up to keep up with them. We've got to be able to nail the behavior with the clicker the instant they do it right. So in Panda's
That
case,
is so
look at
true.
me right there. I mean, as I was saying it, I had eye contact. Right here, look at me, very engaging. You gotta keep the rhythm up, you gotta keep the pace. You're gonna have to make sure the moment he does something right, you're there. He's a fast-paced train, a dog like this. So you can't be too slow. Within the next 5 minutes, every dog in here should be able to leave Turkey alone when we put it in front of them. We're gonna show them how to do it without force, without pulling them away in any way. I'm gonna drop it on the ground. However, what is she gonna do when I drop it on the ground?
I'm curious.
She's gonna go for it. Show me a nice loose leash here. No tension. So I'm gonna drop it, but I'm not gonna let her get it. When she looks away, same concept, I'm gonna click her, and I'm gonna pick up the treat, and I'm gonna give it to her. Don't touch this. It's not so much the words that you're saying. I think the biggest mistake we make when we're teaching a dog something new is we say words at them. But there's very...
That is true. My dad is a big example of this. But that's exactly what I do whenever I am training a dog. And sometimes you have to be careful because, like, especially if it's a puppy and they still have their puppy teeth, it hurts. Have you ever been nipped by a puppy? Their teeth are so sharp. Like, it's horrible. But, I tell people, I'm like, if your puppy is a nipper and they try to dig at your hand and nibble at your fingers to get that treat, use your foot. Use your foot. Dogs are very big on body language. And also tones. So, like, something I always do is I always tell people, oh yeah, those ones reacting to hand signals more than words other than go side. Yeah. I could actually, like, my dogs are a little out of practice now. I've been sick, so I haven't been able to train them as much as I would like to. But they used to be able to do commands just full body language and hand signs. They know the words. But if I couldn't speak or something, I would do something like I would do a hand signal of some sort. But yeah, there's like another thing that I don't know if he's gonna get to that, because that's more for later. Whenever I'm feeding my dogs and I'm teaching them wait for the food, I will body block. And that's showing, hey, you can't go get it yet. Like, you can't go get it yet. Dogs will body block resources if a dog is overusing a resource of some sort. Body blocking is very in dog language. So you body block and be like, hey, I didn't say you can go get your food yet. That's a very big helpful thing. Yeah, I usually put the dog at a sit. It also depends on the dog. Roscoe, I put in a sit on his bed. I used to hold his dish. Tell him wait. I start putting it down. If he breaks the weight before I say so, I pick it back up. It just depends on the context and what's easiest for that dog, because all dogs are different. So depends what they respond to, essentially.
Little heartfelt communication. Even though she may not know what "don't touch that" means right now, she feels my energy. She knows what I'm going for. And we've worked a little bit to build some initial communication. Don't touch this, please. I'm not gonna make her wait for an eternity. Right there, I'm gonna pick it up and give it to her.
Don't touch this.
And then okay, and no tension on the leash. Only because I know that's the instinct to pull them away. You should have faith in your communication. You should trust that your dog really will know what you mean.
That was beautiful.
If you just take a few minutes to communicate with them. Lure training is a concept of training where we use a treat to coax our dog into a specific position. So we're gonna use that nose to our advantage right here. So just like this. Good. And we're gonna say sit as his butt hits the ground. Now he already knows sit. Does he know how to lie down on command? Somewhat, but not really. So we're gonna use the same concept of training here. We're gonna lure him down. A big mistake that a lot of people make with, oh wow.
He's already laid down.
He's making me look good here. A big mistake that a lot of people make with this though, is they do this. And, oh wow, well, all right.
Sorry, that was funny. So, I broke a little bit, sorry. So, what he was doing is, he's like, I know what I need to do for this treat right. Something I also tell people is, when the dog's still learning certain things and like they're not responding to the sit technique where you lure the treat over their head and sit their butt down because they're following the treat, or they're going like trying to get them to lay down by like luring them down. Something I always tell people is have treats everywhere when you're first teaching them. And that's because when they randomly sit at home, so for instance, you're watching TV, dog walks in, sits, good boy, here you go, give them a treat. Mark that, be like, yes, sit, treat. Use it to your advantage when they're like just kind of relaxing, because then they're like, oh shit, I got something. What did I do? I need to do it again. And they're gonna start realizing, because dogs aren't stupid. There might be a few what's the word? Dummies, but like they're not dumb. They're very
normally they go
animals.
fast is what they do. What you should do is you should let them nibble on it nice and slow. Now if they didn't lie down, all right, he's too good. I need a dog that's not listening quite that well.
Right.
Why am I clicking Delilah right there? She did not lie down, but I clicked anyway. She's on the right track. Look, she's trying. It's vital that when our dogs are on the right track, when we're teaching them something new, that we really let them know we like that.
Okay.
Yes, right there. That foot came forward. I'm going to let her know I like it. That's one more step in the right direction. Yes. Oh, good. I'm gonna reward that because that was very good. You see how both of those feet started to move,
Okay.
started to go into the down. Notice the training level, nice and low here, nice and tight. You see this? So with a new dog, again, this provides you're very comfortable with your dog and we're comfortable with her, so we're okay with
Okay.
doing it. The next step is one of those feet is gonna move forward. At that moment, be ready to click. Do you know what I'm saying? Really good.
Okay.
Good. I love the kisses. I love the.
I will say, okay, that's a funny picture of the dog. Anyways, yeah, I do like how I know I keep stopping a lot. And it's just hard for me to think when it's so loud in my ear. Wait, hang on. Do I have a thing that makes it not as loud in my ear? Because that would be fantabulous. I feel like we're gonna try this. Hang on.
Affection there. It's very genuine. It's very
How is the
real
sound on
energy.
your guys'
The
end?
more real you are, the faster your dog learns. Now we got our attention. You never know when you're going to get it, but now that we have it, yes, very good. We
All right,
want to
cool,
seize that
cool.
momentum right there. You see what I'm saying?
It's lower.
Momentum is a big deal. We don't hear a lot
Crap.
about that in dog training because a moment ago, she
Too
was
bad,
like,
it's
I
hurting
don't
my
feel like
ears.
it,
I
but
can't
now,
think.
all of
Ow.
a sudden, as those moments go longer and longer, that's the beginning. That's a sign that you're on the right track. I got lucky with a group of people here that seem to really get their
Hang
dogs,
on.
and you're very engaging with them. Be engaging with your dogs, and it's such an impossible thing to really teach. It has to come from within, but
Wait,
the more
hang on.
sincere
I'm
you
thinking.
are with your dog, the more likely they are to respond to you.
That's not right.
This is one of
Hang
my
on.
new favorite classes, really, and I love all of my classes. Mwah, I promise, I do.
It's
but
fine.
it seems like these guys really got it. I saw very
It's
little
so
frustration.
loud in my
Do you
ear.
prefer working
Alright, we're
with a
going right
high
here.
energy
We're
dog
going right
or
here.
kind of more of a chill,
I have to
low-key
be able to
dog?
think
I mean,
and my
everyone's
ears
different.
don't die.
I personally like energetic dogs
Okay.
to work with, but that's me.
But-
Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure you are subscribed and make
I did like how he was also, what's the word? When he was talking about, I think it was like around here. When he's I'm sorry. When he's Yeah, I'm thinking probably could do. Let me try this. Hang on. Where is the tube? Oh no. Okay, so you're a joke. So F me, I guess. I don't know. Baylor, what was which dial was it? I can't remember. Let's see. For never mind, it's fine. I'll just suffer a little bit. It'll be fine. But when he was saying that he like he rewards when they start figuring it out. Like when he put the when the dog starts putting its paw forwards, he rewards in that sense. All right, you know what? We'll do parsec real quick. I'm trying to lower the volume on my end without messing up your guys' volume. Because this is loud. It is hurting my eardrums. While he's fixing that, I'll continue to talk. I'm gonna put this over... Actually, I'm gonna put this on this screen. And I'll answer some questions. Make sure. Baylor, what screen are you on? Are you on the video screen or are you on... Hang on. You're on that screen. Okay, hang on. Epic. Okay, try not to mess up my video too much. Okay, so I'll answer questions. Have I ever had to deal with a parvo dog virus? I'm lucky enough not to have to deal with that. I did have somebody who, let me think. I know so I worked at a shelter at some point, and that's not the right one, Baylor. I'm using a private browser for Firefox. Yep, I can't find it on there. There. You see why I can't find stuff. But, so, what's the word? What was I gonna say? I haven't personally done it. I know we had a case whenever I worked at the shelter as a dog walker. Um, it's very sad, and it's a very deadly virus. There's no cure for it, so prevention is, or what's the word? Prevention, one, with any virus, but also making sure that the dog is getting support care. So making sure they're getting plenty of water, plenty of food, all this other stuff to make sure that they survive. The parvovirus is very hard to deal with, cleaning wise. I remember somebody was telling me a story that this person who was breeding Yorkies actually had to put whole litter down because they got parvo, because there was parvo in the soil, in one spot in the soil. Even though they like made sure everything was sanitary for the dogs, that virus was there for months. Oh my ears. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. Failer's a wizard! You're a wizard, Harry. Alright, let me try it. Let me see. How does it sound on your guys' end? Ah! Hang on, Failer! Ah! Yes! Jesus Christ, Failer! Okay. So, it's too loud on stream? Alright, give me a second. Well, I lowered it until you, like, busted my eardrums. Is that better? Okay. Okay. So, we got that fixed. Oh, son of a... You don't hear the audio? Okay, give me a second. Baylor, did you forget to... I know what he did. Hang on. Give me a second. I got this. Baylor, don't touch anything. I will mess you up. No, I'm fixing it! Don't touch it! I got it! I lied. I don't know what I'm doing. Hang on. Okay, fix it. Fix it. Don't mess it up. We will fight. Let's see. Where was I? Ooh, my ankle hurts today. Yeah. Baylor, hurry, please, for the love of whatever. Do you thing. Nope, that's not right, Baylor. It'd be under interwebs. No, there's another tab called interwebs. Oh my god. That's webcam. Inserting my solo. Okay. I also can't see chat right now, so, like, just a heads up. You know what? I'll get it out on my phone. I got this. We're totally professionals here. Totally professionals, all profession. Alright. Let me touch it. Stop touching. Stop touching. Stop touching. Don't know where things are. Baylor, stop touching! Alright, what about now, guys? Hang on, I have to move this over here. Oh god. Alright. Can you guys hear it now? Feel like... Okay, give me 1 second. I have an idea. Properties. Give me 1 second. Because I'm a Okay. Put that there. Let me just see this real quick. Honestly, could we just... Oh, wait, hang on. It has an idea. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm smart. Hang on, hang on, hang on. That's... Let me see. That was... Is it this? It might be this. Let me see. Hang on. Am I smart? I don't know yet. Let me... I has the ideas. We do default real quick. Okay. That should work. And then... Is that better? Did I do's it? Did I do's the goods? I think I got it. I think I got it. What the frick? Okay, hang on. It's fine. Oh, that's the wrong one. I thought I had it, but I didn't. How do I... Okay, hang on. Because it's there, but why is it there? There's so many questions. I know! Alright, hang on. You know what? We're gonna look at my pretty face real quick. Hang on. We're going to the just chatting screen. Alright, come back, Valor. Okay. See, I need to stop listening to Valor because now we're doing this. Now we're doing this. Alright. Go on, Valor. Do your thing. Because it's showing up on there. Yeah, so it's... Can we take that one off, maybe? Yeah, blame... Hashtag blame Valor. Let me grab Valor. Hold on 1 second. Let me grab something so you can work a little bit. There you go. You're good. Alright. Oh, is it because... Alright. Go to global settings. Global settings. Nope, okay. Do I have to... Oh, gosh, dang it, hang on. I know what's... I have to go back to this! I hate it here. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's stupid how this works. Right. Because Try to get it in... Okay. What? I have no idea what that did. What about now? Did you hear stuff? Totally professionals, guys. I'm guessing it didn't come across on stream. Please ignore the man behind the curtain. If you know that reference, I'm proud of you. Though I'm proud of everybody. You guys are amazing. You're lovely. I'm running out of words. So, how's everybody's day going? You guys have a good day at work? Had a good day at shopping? Whatever you did today? How was it? I think most people would work on Mondays? Mondays? Yeah. Hmm. Like... Did you figure it out? Did it work? I have no idea how this works. I am sorry for the for this, guys. See, we could have just had the subtitles and we would have been fine. I'm just joking. Why are we messing with Discord stuff? There you go. Well. Okay. Oh, okay, because I can't hear you. Okay, okay. Okay, hang on. Stop touching stuff, Baylor! I can't. Can't call you if you keep moving my mouse. Alright. You guys shouldn't be able to hear him, but I will, so I'm not talking to myself, I swear.
Is muted, but I've said it so now I just made it so people can hear me. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, hang on. One thing I noticed was it's coming out through here too. It's coming out through here too. Let me grab it. Stop. Don't touch. Don't touch! There we go. Sorry, I'm yelling at Failure. We're trying to figure this out, guys. It wouldn't be under that one. It would come out. Where is it? That's odd. Baylor broke it again. Yeah, okay, well. Let me see.
She knows what I'm going for.
Let's see.
And she, we've worked a little bit to build some
Can you guys
initial
hear anything?
communication. Don't touch this, please. I'm not going to make her wait for an eternity. Right there. I'm going to pick it up and give it to her.
Don't touch this.
And then if she, okay, and no tension on the leash.
He hears it.
Only because I know that's the instinct
All right.
to pull them away. You should have faith in your communication.
Well,
You
I can
should
fix it on
trust
the
that
on
your
the
dog
run.
really will know what you mean.
All right, bye.
If you just take a few minutes to communicate with them. Lure training is a concept
Okay,
of training where
there
we
we go.
use a treat
All right, how's the
to
audio
coax our
on your
dog
guys' end?
into a specific position. So we're going to use
Too
that
loud,
nose
too
to our
soft,
advantage right
just
here.
right.
So just like this. Good. And we're going to say sit as his butt hits the ground. Now he already knows sit. Does he know how to lie down on command?
Good to you? Okay, cool.
Somewhat, but not really. So we're going to use the same concept of training
Bit too
here.
loud.
We're going to lure him down. A big mistake that a lot of people make with, oh wow, that's,
Oh my god.
he's making me look good here. A big mistake that a lot of people make with this though,
All right.
is they do this.
There we go.
Oh wow. Well, all right. Normally they go fast.
All right. Jesus Christ. You fix it. You broke stuff first, Failure. All right, we're going to the next one. All right. So this one is Beckman's dog training. Oh, we could continue with the craziness.
And we're over it. We're done. Let's go, Laura.
Wait, what just happened?
This dog just got to our facility. He thinks it's a big game to not come. We're trying to get him in the office. Let's go in. I want to show you guys what he's doing.
Okay.
Jet. Jet, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. He knows the game, right? He's saying, this is what my mommy does. She tries to get me, and then I run away like it's a big game. I'm going to go through the
Bye.
process. This
Okay.
is not a straight up recall. This is not just a coming video. That is not the key. This is get rid
Okay.
of the game, then get the recall 10 minutes down the road, a week down the road. Get rid of the game
Okay.
first. You don't get the recall if you don't get rid of the game. And we're getting rid of the game right now, not in a mean way, but in a, we are not to be completely played with. We're not jokes.
Okay.
When we say come, we mean what we say. When you ask your kids something, you'd like them to do it within a reasonable period of time. Look at, he knows I can't get him. And look at this. It's the funnest thing in the world to this guy. Look at this.
So I'm not gonna lie, Presley, my dog did this before. He doesn't do it anymore. Funny story. So this was on one of my days where I was having a really bad day. I have fibromyalgia, and some days I can't move very well. Well, this jerk made me go all the way downstairs, starts running around. After being outside for 5 minutes, exhausted and tired, I grabbed my crock, chucked it across the yard. I wasn't aiming for him. I was just chucking it. It was one of those like Walmart crocs that like weigh nothing. And I accidentally hit him in the butt. He ran up and went inside. Yeah, so now he comes when called. I didn't mean to, but it worked that way. But yeah, so just a funny story. Don't throw shoes at your dog because you might accidentally hit them like I did. And sometimes it doesn't always end up with them learning recall.
This is a lot of dogs. There's pure joy in the game, which a lot of you ask in the comments, how do you deal with this? I'm going to show you how you deal with it right now, okay? I'm going to give him a very clear cue. I'm going to say come, and I'm going to give him a place to go, as I call it. It's often been trained with treats by the owners or by me.
Okay.
Let's assume he, at 3 years old, he knows what this word means. You have to have trained the behavior before you do this go-get method, okay? And I don't think he's going to come. Here we go. Jet, come. And we're over it. We're done. Let's go, Laura. I might give him another shot because he's been here 10 minutes. And I might not. It depends on how big of a joke he thinks I am. And many of you call me and you go, well, I have canyons. I can't get my dog.
Okay.
I'm going to get this guy, and you're going to watch me get it, and you're going to watch me struggle. And I'm not going to beg him, and I'm not going to go get treats.
Okay.
Sit. Sit.
Okay.
Look at his body language. Sit. Good boy. Not a great boy. He is not a great boy, but he is not, did not do the worst thing in the world. He saw my body language change a little bit. His body language then changed. And we are gonna see if he thinks it's a big game again. I doubt he's gonna come to me, but we're gonna see if he thinks it's a big game. All we gotta do is lessen the game, then eventually the recall happens. Okay, so what was my choice of consequence? He let me get to him and he could have ran away, and he didn't run away. So I still grabbed him with a little bit of something to it where he said, oh, this guy's not my mom. But there was no real consequence. There's really no reinforcement. There was really no punishment.
All right, so I was
the
gonna say
petting is
something.
not that reinforcing. The grab is not that punishing. Jet's a good boy. Jet's a good boy. Jet's a best boy. Oh my goodness. Now, there was a 3-foot come to me, of which I tried earlier and couldn't get. So he gets.
So, as words, hang on. Okay, had to shake it in my head a little bit. So, not the worst way to teach a recall, especially with a dog this old. Because he said he's what 3. Also, golden retrievers are very very playful, energetic, and such. So it's not like I would have done stuff differently, but also each trainer does things differently. He said he wouldn't get treats. I got lazy, so I do that now. But back whenever I was dog training and stuff, and back whenever I was a lot healthier and able to walk properly, I would work on recall with high value treats, and depending on the area I was in, I would also use a lead. So like if I worked as a dog trainer in a pet store, what I would do is have a long lead and have it where they have to come down a very unpopulated aisle on a like a 10-foot lead, I think it was, or something like that. I can't remember. But that way you still had control and made sure nobody was around. And we just make a game out of it almost. So they were excited to go to you. Not a game where like we played chase and stuff, but I would be on one end, the owner would be on the other end. We would have high value trees. We're like, blah, 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 come. They run to us. We make it very exciting for them. So that way they're excited to come to us. Give them that treat. Do it back and forth. Keep going back and forth. Once they start getting the idea of it, I would start going with a lower value treat and mix in some of the higher value treats. So I might do a medium value treat a few times and then give them a high value treat. That way they're on their toes and they're like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to get this every time, but there's a chance I'm going to get it. So I just never know. Jesus Christ, sire. Oh. Anyway, the donation's gonna come up in a second, so thank you, Baylor. So anyways, we would make it into it also, like I've said multiple times, it depends on the dog.
Failing Failure Gamer donated $5 to save the cyborg fund. So in GL, I said in my Discord bio, don't ask what happened June 23rd of 2025. I wrote this like at the start of 2025. That's when the US nuked a part of Iran that some Norwegian soldiers were at. JFC that backfired RQ. It was a joke, America. A joke, what TF.
Failure! Bad! But thank you for the donation. But, yeah, so, like, it always depends on the dog. So, this dog might not respond. They are fun. They are fun. The voice, I love. So this dog might not respond to the way I'm doing it. That backfired. Yeah, failure, we talked about not putting negative energy into the world, so things like that doesn't happen. Okay? Okay. But that might not work for this dog. Like I said, each dog is different. I always go with positive reinforcement first, and then go from there. I try not to use anything forceful, anything to hurt the dog, but, like, if a dog jumps and tries to attack me, I might need it. It's just because, you know, I'm not gonna let myself get bitten by a dog and let them bite me and them think, oh, that it's okay if I bite because, like, it made her go away. If they jump and try to attack me and I need them and they back off, like I said, I'm not going to use that as my first resort, but if they're attacking me, that's something to think about. This dog might not listen to my recall method of going back and forth and working on with treats and such. They might be like, oh, I got the treat, I can run away. But it's just trying to get them to understand, oh, good things come when I go to my owner, and creating that bond with your animal, essentially.
That's a good boy. He gets the talking. He gets all the stuff. Okay, go nuts. Go nuts. All right. Ooh.
See, when he got excited, he actually went towards
now, again,
him.
this isn't a recall. This is getting rid of the
once
game.
he stopped getting that excited voice,
let's see
he
if
ran
maybe...
He has an itch.
Let's see if we can get a recall.
I don't know if that was an itch or a displacement, because he sat in front of him and started scratching. It could be technically a displacement, but, like, it's kind of all.
Come.
They are very jolly. It's very rare when I be
boy. That's our best boy.
See,
Where do
good
treats
reinforcement
involve
there.
themselves in this? They don't. For the recall, they might. This wasn't a recall video. This was getting rid of the go-get game that your dog thinks is the single greatest thing in the history of the world, which he did. Then the pursuit happened. He kind of probably said, this guy will come get me. He's like, this guy's on a hill with rocks. In a weird way, they get it. His body language did change. He kind of knew I wasn't giving up. And then I asked to sit, and I asked it in a tone. He didn't listen to me.
If you notice, he speaks a lot about body
when
language.
I was like, sit, I was kind of like, sit your behind down. And you could kind of see him go,
that is a
this guy isn't my mom. This is a little different. This guy's a little more serious.
Strong point when
then
training a
there,
dog,
pursued,
making sure your body language is right for the right.
You saw his ears. He was just kind of like,
for the
okay,
right
this isn't
situations.
fun. Then when I got him, I was not mean to him, but I was not super nice to him either.
Yeah.
As of which you shouldn't be. You can be in life. You can be super, oh my God, that was the greatest thing ever. I'm taking my kids to Disneyland. I'm giving my dog a pile of chicken. You can do that, and you can do times where you are not happy with them because they messed up or because you have to get rid of a behavior, the running away behavior. You got to get rid of it quickly. You want to get rid of it quickly. And so you got to go a little more on the punishing side or on the corrective side. Okay? That was getting rid of the it's a game when mommy or daddy chases me, when mommy or daddy asks me to come. Get rid of that game first, then you get the recall like you saw.
So he made some very good points. I do, like, so whenever I was dog training, I did a lot of research with dog trains, with different techniques and stuff, just because I dealt with so many different types of dogs, and there's no one specific technique that works on every single dog. Positive reinforcement shows that there is a higher rate of learning for these dogs, and how they respond to it, but it's not going to work for every single dog. I've never done like, so for instance, I personally don't like choke or prong collars, but they can be used for certain things. Certain service dogs have them. I don't know if you guys remember from the first video, but there was a part where it kind of showed the choke collar, and it's not for them if they're trying to run off or anything. It's more for it's a pressure stimulus. So pretty much what they do is, if they want them to do something and they can't, for instance, talk or something, and they're having trouble with certain things, they might put a certain pressure on the dog to alert the dog, be like, hey, like, focus on me or whatever, to keep them, what's the words are hard today, but it's to help with commands and such. So it's not as a punishment, but more rather, since it tightens slightly, the dog can figure out what's going on with the, yeah. So whenever I do, wherever I'm recommending, what's it called? Like for dog walking, because a lot of people have trouble with dog walking. Like, oh, they should be right next to me. Your dog doesn't have to be right next to you unless it's like trained to be a service dog, a therapy dog, whatever. If it's in those situations, yes, they should have those manners. I let my dogs kind of go a little bit in front of me so they can explore a little bit. But Presley is a very big pooler, and I don't use that those prong or choke collars on them. I use a like I said, I would only use those as last resorts. If it's for safety and such. But I'm going to do 50 million other things before I get to that point. I use something called, what was it called? I'm going to grab one of these tabs and bring it over here and I can look real quick. But I think it's called a front harness. How do I spell harness? For Jesus Christ, my brain. So it's a front clip harness. I think it's by Pet Safe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's by Pet Safe. It's something similar to this. I'm bringing up a Chewy. This is not an ad. I'm just saying this is what I use for my dogs. Is this front clip harness? Because what it does is when they're walking in front of you and they start to pull, it redirects them back. Yeah, dogs like being a bit ahead, though my dad's dog just likes attacking the leash like it's a toy. That is a very common thing as well. Something I do with that is when I'm going for a walk, if the dog starts like trying to bite the leash while we're walking, I stop. And so what I do is, I make sure it's safe for them where they're not going to run off, but I'll put the leash down and step on it. So it's not as interesting as me pulling. So now it's like kind of on the ground and you're like, oh, well now this isn't fun. If you're inside the house and you're about to go for the walk and he starts biting the leash, I drop it instantly and walk away. I'm like, this is the consequence. We're not going for a walk right now. But yeah, I like these, like I said, because when they're walking, if they pull, it's going to redirect them. So when they're walking in front of you, they pull forward, it's going to turn their body one way or the other, depending on where it is. I keep the leash between me and the dog. Don't have it on the other side because it won't be as effective. But yeah, if you see right here, leash right there. Leash is between you and them. If they start pulling, you can kind of see it already starting to turn, but it won't make them turn until they pull too hard. I like them. We used to have them for both my dogs. Roscoe doesn't need it as much because he's 25 pounds. By the way, Roscoe lost 3 pounds. I'm so proud of him because he's so chunky. But anyways, this is one of them. There's another one called Gentle Lead. Gentle Lead. I think it's this. This one's a little bit harder to do. because you have to get the dog used to having something around its muzzle. Easy way to do that. Hello. Excuse me, I am trying to do video here. Alright, so you have to get them used to it being around their mouth. It doesn't restrict them opening of their mouth or anything. They can drink water, whatever. But if they pull, it's going to turn their head. So I like these as well, but it does take longer time for the dog to get used to it. My only fear is I've had dogs that are able to get out of these. So it makes me a little bit more nervous. But the Easy Walk dog harness I like because of if you have a collar as well, you can clip this to the collar as well, and it works just as well, and it makes it like an extra safety precaution. So, they're not super expensive, but like, you know. Anyways, also it is important that you also do talk to somebody who is a professional in dog training, especially if they're an aggressive dog. And there's a couple different types of aggressions. There's aggression that is just aggression where they will attack anything. And there's also fear type aggression. Something as a dog trainer, I wasn't allowed to take dogs that were aggressive. But if it was fear-based aggression, I would take them. I would let my manager know. I'd be like, hey, this dog has a fear-based aggression, but I have the tools and everything to keep them safe, keep everybody else safe, so on and so forth. I come up with a plan, because fear-based aggression is not as bad to work with than aggression. Because like aggression's usually from overconfidence, or just overprotective, which makes it a lot harder. Or there could be just something wrong with the dog. Maybe because like even humans aren't inherently aggressive, but there are medical conditions that can make them aggressive, if that makes sense. So we have to keep those in mind when we are evaluating dogs like these. It's a funny thing that this is a German Shepherd. I didn't realize it was a German Shepherd until we started watching, because I really didn't look into this. I was just like, oh, okay, we could do one of these videos. But it's funny because literally in the beginning of the stream, I said the dogs that I don't like training the most is German Shepherds, because I almost die every time. I think I had one German Shepherd, or 2 German Shepherds that didn't try to maul my face off. Because for some reason, people will not train their German Shepherds until they're 8 months old. And I think people get the wrong information. So they're not looking at obedience training. They're looking at like training for like, what's the word? You know, the relay training type stuff, like, the course training. I don't know why, but I've had so many dogs. They are not. Because I've had so many owners come in and they're like, I have this German Shepherd. I've had them since they were 8 weeks, but she tries to maul everybody's face off. And I'm just like, this dog's a year old. And they're like, yes. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, do they know how to like sit? Nope. Lay down? Nope. Can they walk on a leash? Nope. We don't take them for walk. I'm just like, oh gosh. Yeah, so I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you get a German Shepherd, do your research, put them in a dog training class, unless you know what you're doing for training, and then you could train them yourselves. I would not, like, if I've had a German Shepherd, so I know they're freaking assholes. She was a mix, but she was still an asshole. But I've seen so many people get German Shepherds thinking, oh, they're going to be a protective dogs. They are the most anxious dogs I've ever met. Like, those are the dogs I have to deal with fear aggression a lot. and it kills me because, like, it's just so hard to reprogram them, essentially, so they're not trying to kill everybody they see. Because a lot of times what happens is dog is a fear regressive, and it's because it's a learned behavior. A lot of times what happens is they get scared, somebody gets in their personal space, they nip at them, and the person backs off because they're like, oh, it bit me. And then it's like, oh, so every time I nip at somebody, or if I bite something that I don't like, they will walk, like, they'll stay away. They'll go away if I, like, bite them. So that's what happens a lot with fear aggression and such. Because they are working dogs. They are very smart dogs. But if you don't give them a task and train them, they are a nightmare to deal with. I'm going to steal this answer. Or I'm going to answer this because I love Taylor's dog. It's a Samoa dog. The big white fluffy dogs. I love them so much. They're so cute. Okay, sorry. So I got a question. Do I have a prior experience with Samoa dogs? I did snipe that answer. I love your dog. He is so fluffy and cute. I love him. But I actually don't have experience with those type of dog with Samoas, the breed specifically, but I do have experience with dogs that are I've had experience with many different types of dogs. Like I said, I have a Dalmatian, and they're kind of a pain in the butt to train. I've also trained German Shepherds, and they're crazy. I've trained Border Collies, Huskies, I think Saint Bernards. No, not Saint Bernard. It was a Burmese mountain dog. So I've trained a bunch of dogs. I've trained pit bulls. Yeah. But yeah, like I've trained a bunch of different types of dogs. Pugs, Frenchies. I know Shiba Inus are beautiful. They don't actually bark, really. Like, they kind of, like, make this sound. It's so funny. But, pugs, any dog with a smushed face has a lot of health issues due to the smushed face. You also have to be careful with very hot and humid weather and very cold weather. Because unlike other dogs, like our lovely German Shepherd, where it has a very long snout, that long snout helps regulate the air going into their lungs. So a pug or like English Bulldog doesn't get that air regulation before they inhale, essentially. So they do have a lot of health issues. They get a lot of infections in the crevices of their face. So I love pugs. I love all dogs. I think pugs are adorable, but because of the health issues, I would not actively get a pug. Because I think breeding them is sad. Because, like, yeah. Yeah, and same thing with Persian cats. Anything with a smush face, they have a lot of health issues, and it makes me sad. Because they are very cute, but I'd rather my dog be healthy than cute. Was it a, meerkat? Meerkat? No, not meerkat. Was it? It was meerkat. I can't remember. I feel like, no, Maine Coon. Was it a Maine Coon? Was it a Maine Coon? I think it was a Maine Coon. So, he uses what he calls a tap. Be like, like, sorry, I did my thing. So whenever I tried to get a dog to focus on me and they're doing, so for instance, if she was growling, like, I kind of like tap the leash because that's gonna disrupt what she's thinking and be like, what? But it's also a safety thing for the other dog. So if she were to lunge, I have that control. But I do a lot of vocal, and I don't say no that often. At least my dogs, I say no to all the time because, you know, they're like kids. You say no to them. But other dogs, I do because it sounds negative, and the sound kind of is unique. And so it kind of, like I said, disrupts that bad behavior. But like, oh, what's going on? And pays attention to you. I wouldn't another thing is I wouldn't bring her into personally me, bring her into like my home with a bunch of other dogs because it could make her more fearful, but at the same time, it could help. It just depends on the dog. He probably already has this assessment like, oh, yeah, so she's acting this way with me here. She's going to act this way when coming in here because these are my dogs. So she'll know, okay. But yeah.
And
Wait,
this is
hang
the-
on. I didn't see what he said. Hang on. You know, watching One Piece while listening and watching Nike's stuff is kind of funny. Just watch a man get shot and with an explicit. Did Nike talk about how she trains dog? God damn it. Baylor! So, I try never to tell the pet parent this, but a lot of times with fear aggression dogs, it's usually the owner's fault. They're not purposely doing it. It's involuntarily their fault. Because that dog feels useful as a protector. So they're like, oh, I'm scared, so my owner must be scared. Because you tensing up because you're like, oh, there's a dog, I'm going to tense up in case she pulls. That tension goes through the leash, goes to them, and she thinks you're scared, misreading your tenseness, and be like, oh, I must protect, and then we get to that. Not always the case, but that's a lot of times what happens because they can feel that tension in their leash because you subconsciously do it. Now she thinks she has to protect you. Right. So you see how Caesar is very loosey-goosey. He's like, hello. And like if she tries to yank, he's like, we're not doing that. He doesn't even have the leash. Like if you look right here, her leash is there. He's just holding the choke chain. Because he knows, like, oh, she's not going to attack anybody right this second unless they, like, come up on her very fast. But yeah, that's a big thing. Whenever I tell people, I'm like, hey, try not to react. If you see them starting to tense up, go the opposite way. Just so you're not tensing up and you avoid that situation and you work up to that way. Like I said, work on the focus cue or have them check in with you because that's going to help you so much when you're doing this. Also, a big thing, him saying this is actually funny because of my mentor when I was learning to be a dog trainer always says, it's not dog. He's like, it's technically not dog training. It's people training because you're teaching people how to handle their dogs, how to be with their dogs, it's not actually you teaching the dog, it's you teaching the person so they can teach their dog, which I find very, like, I always thought that was like a really interesting way. And I was like, you know what, you're actually right. I never thought of it that way. So that's why, like, whenever I dog train, even though dogs aren't people, I try to put it in people terms and explain it in a way like somebody would like explain a human. So for instance, something I always say is when you're teaching your dog how to sit, don't take the traits away too quickly. Because at this point it is a job for them to learn this. When you go to work, you don't want to go to work and then not get paid. Those treats, those praise, that's their payment. When you get in the beginning, the treats are the payment. As they learn it and you start like perfecting it and such, and you start using praise instead of treats, that turns into their pay. Their pay is the praise. So that's why I always tell people, I'm like, always make sure to treat your dog when they're first learning, praise them later on, because that is their payment. We don't work for free, neither should your dog, essentially. So I try to put it in human terms because people put dogs in a category like they're children, that they're humans like us. So I put it in terms so they understand. Because it's easier to understand when you put them in a more humanistic term, if that makes sense. Right there, I would tell Ron to start walking away with the dog. Just like, walk back into the house. So she kind of understands, so we could kind of break her out of that trance. Like I said, making her check in and making her learn the cue focus is going to be very imperative to these kind of situations. That's what I would do different than him. Oh, sorry, I glitched out the camera. I talk with my hands a lot. I need like a model with hands so I can like move my hands everywhere. But yeah, that's like a big part. Let's go to the next video, which is, I'm gonna do it through. A super simple way to stop a dog from jumping. I'm gonna see. Like I said, I haven't seen these videos. I'm reacting with you guys.
Dog because of this wildness.
This is Beckman's dog training again.
This is Bobby. Bobby's a jumper on guests. That's his biggest issue. We have one of his favorite trainers is showing up right now. He has not seen her. I'm going to show you by far, check him out, by far my favorite way to deal with jumping. There's a lot of ways to deal with it. The purely positive folks are going to say, have your guests come in, drop treats all over ground. There's other ways where you're going to have a prong, you're going to correct them. There's a way that I'm okay with, which is the dog jumps on, just like that. Look at this. You think this dog isn't a jumper? This dog is jumping up on this. Is hot, pretty good jump. You see how he's an up dog? Everything's up, up, up. This is a jumper, okay? So I'm gonna show you my by far favorite way. It's called the leash step-on method. There's nuance to it. You're not gonna hold the dog on the ground. You are going to give the leash some distance, some space, so that they correct themselves. I don't like to correct dogs. If a dog corrects itself, that's the greatest thing in the world. The dog can vary and can change its behavior.
Teach him to stand. I mean, you could. I personally don't like doing that because it could lead to jumping a lot of the times, and then we have another issue. But there are some dogs that like can stand and like do little dances and stuff. I don't like doing it, especially with larger dogs, because of larger dogs are more prone to what's it called? Hip issues. Hip dysplasia, I believe it's called. Let me double check. Hip hip dysplasia. I was right. Yeah. So hip dysplasia is a condition where the hip joint doesn't form properly, causing the ball and the socket to not fit together correctly. German Shepherds are very commonly known to have these, so that is why people don't usually have them do like horse training. So yeah, usually larger dogs get it. German Shepherds are very prone to it, but I think it's also because of they're used as working dogs, so place dogs a lot of the time and all that. So dogs that run a lot usually end up having some sort of hip issues or arthritis. Another thing to deal with that, because having a bed small where they lay in a small bed and curl up, I try to give them the option to not curl up. So I give them a big enough bed so we don't have to worry about that, because a lot of times they'll get arthritis from curling up like that. Oh, that makes sense. Actually, all right, never mind. Teach him how to roll over. I could try that. It just depends on the dog. Like Presley, I tried to teach a rollover. He nearly murdered me. But yeah, it just depends on the dog. Not all dogs are gonna learn to roll over, but they can. Like Roscoe can roll over, Presley cannot. RG. My dog used to do that naturally a lot and end up with lower back issues. Yeah. Yeah, a lot, like, it's not as common, but, like, some dogs can get arthritis from curling up too much. That's why I give them a large bed. So it's, or memory foam bed to prevent that kind of stuff. But it's not, yeah. But yeah, that's why I always give my dogs a large bed. Presley likes really small beds. I can't change his mind on that. So he's going to curl up because he's weird. But if you give him a large bed, or if he's laying in bed with me, he takes up the whole bed. He's a butthead. He's a butthead. That's what he is. But yeah.
Behavior to no longer give itself a correction. Carly, are you ready? Okay, hold on. I'll tell you when to come in.
Let's see how.
So what you're gonna do, you have to
does
know when
this.
your guests are coming over. Okay? Then you are simply the heaviest person in your household is going to step on the leash. Look at this guy. Oh, he's the perfect dog. It's the perfect dog to show you guys control and jumping.
Okay.
Here's what you're not going to do. Are you going to step on the leash here? No. Look it. Watch the jump.
No, you step in.
He's going to be able
Yeah,
to
he
get
just goes jump.
all
Make
the
sure
way
you
up.
can't jump. Step on
With
it.
about 6 inches of leash. So now, if the dog jumps, he is going to jump, correct, jump, correct, jump, correct. Carly, come on in. Come right up to the dog, please.
Bobby? Hey, how are you? Hi. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. Hi,
Yeah, see, he's trying to figure out
Jump,
how
correct,
to jump.
jump, correct, jump, correct, jump, correct, jump, correct.
Sorry.
Perfect. Jump correct,
It looks
jump
like
correct.
a video game.
Oh, he's
Then
sitting.
she's going to pet the
Boing,
dog
boing,
when he
boing,
made a
boing,
choice
boing.
to not jump.
Yes.
Your guest is going to pet the dog when they make a choice not to jump
That shake off. That's a shake off.
and reinforce. Reinforce the no jumping,
Okay.
and the dog is getting a correction for the jumping. There was like 6 of them in succession. Then, when the guest is in the house, sit. Sit.
The scooting.
He's not getting
I'm
off.
sorry, the
he's not
scooting
getting off
kills
when
me.
he's doing this backup thing. I don't care that he sat. I don't care that he wants to see Carly. Sit.
Okay.
I don't care that he's worked up. None of this matters to me. You have a major problem with your dog going nuts with guests. You got to get control. Okay. Then he gets released. Let's see if there's a jump in there. There might be. Come over here, Carly. There was
He's
6
thinking.
6 tries from Bobby. He corrected himself on all 6.
Okay.
Yes.
And then a sit and a pet. He has
Perfect.
not technically jumped on her. He tried 6 times, but we used this. It eliminated the behavior. He has not jumped on her 1 time, and I did not tell
sorry.
you hit an e-collar. I did not tell you to give your guests a bunch of instructions.
I'm gonna do that. So that I did like how he did that, the jump correction, where he actually didn't have to correct. The dog was learning from his mistakes. Like I said, a lot of the times what I do is I do a redirect. So if I have them on the leash, if the dog tries to jump on them, I remove them from the area. Or I would have the guest, which I try not to get the guests to have to leave the building, but I will like take the dog and physically remove him from the situation. Once he's calmed down, I bring him back in with the leash. Another thing that I do with my dogs so they don't jump as much is I have them go to their bed and wait. And once they wait a certain amount of time, I let them, I'll say free, release, whatever. That way they could calm down and regulate themselves in the bed before they can start jumping and such. But yeah, that's just some of the stuff I would do. That is also a very valid way to do it. Like I said multiple times before, focus or eyes on me, whatever you want to call it, the check-in is something I always do. All right, next video. Interesting though, the people I know with larger dogs aren't likely to do this. Yeah. People think it's cute when the dogs jump because they're like, oh, they're so happy to see me. They'll grab their paws and dance around with them. But it is a safety issue. If grandma comes to visit and she gets jumped on by your 120-pound Great Dane, grandma's breaking a hip. So I always try to make sure my dog doesn't do that kind of stuff because I don't want to get a lawsuit. I don't want my grandma to break her hip. So this is from a Korean show on KBS World TV. This is their YouTube channel. Called Dogs Are Incredible. This is episode 119-5. So this is back in 2022. Let me see if I can... I'm gonna move this, like, somewhere right about here. Yeah, see, Grandma's going down. Grandma's going down if he jumps on him. This is why we teach them not to jump. Yeah, it kind of looked like, the dog was assessing him. Because his body language. Like, dogs wagging their tail doesn't always mean they're friendly. If I remember correctly, if it's wagging more to the right, they're excited or curious. If it's wagging more to the left, they are a bit more timid and unsure. And those dogs are a little bit more worrisome, depending on their history. Bear. Looks like a bear. What dog would that be? Would it be like a... Oh, hang on, my brain. Hang on. This is gonna bother me now, hang on. I'm looking. Was it a Newfoundland? Okay, hang on. Let me see. Mastiff. Let's see. Yeah, it might be the Newfoundland, because that almost looks exactly... Hang on, let me pull up a picture. Because that was what... Oh, no, you hate me. Hang on. Excuse me. Get out of here. Okay. This is what a Newfoundland looks like. Pop up. There it is. Newfoundland. Very large dogs, but beautiful. 100 up to 150. 150 pounds. Jesus Christ. So Presley used to be 80 pounds. He was 60 pounds at 5 months. So usually we wouldn't get our dogs neutered until they're about a year old. But he was almost 60 pounds at 5 months. So we're like, he was also very aggressive when we first got him. So we did get him neutered a bit early because of those factors. Neutering early can lead to some growth development. So maybe make him look a little lanky and stuff. We didn't care about how they look, how he looked, as long as he was healthy. We made sure he was, like I said, he was already huge. He was probably going to be 100 pounds if you let him go. Like, honestly, when we went to pick him up, we got him at 16 weeks, and he was already half the size of a Great Dane, and we're like, is this that child's? They're like, no. So, but yeah, so we weren't supposed to get a giant dog, but, like, he ended up being one of the bigger sizes of a Dalmatian. But yeah, Newfoundlands, super friendly, very sweet. The only reason why I thought of Newfoundland when you said that is because of Dr. Mike. He has a Newfoundland named Bear. And I love Bear. Bear is amazing. Anyways, sorry. I know the other breed of my parents both was a Chow Chow, not as big. Yeah. Yeah. Pomeranians. I love Pomeranians. They're so freaking cute. Yeah. So it was funny because my family never wanted small dogs. Roscoe was our first small dog. We got him when he was like 12 pounds. He was about 5 months. And we got him from the rescue center. He was saved from a hoarding situation. And we got him when he was 12 pounds. how he's fat. But that's besides the point. We never had small dogs. So it was really funny. Well, but my parents were okay with him because they're like, he's like a small dog. He's like a big dog in a small dog's body. That's how they explained it. But when I was like joking, I was like, hey, we should get another dog. Roscoe should get a friend. Da da da. My dad's just like, only if it's a Dalmatian. So I went on a hunt for a Dalmatian for him. And that's how we got Presley. But yeah, my parents are like, how do we have a big dog before this? Which our big dogs were like 50 pounds, so they weren't like huge. But can we give a W to Elvis too? Sure. Yeah, my mom's like, told my dad, you can't name him Elvis. So my dad's like, okay, so we're going with Eastwood or Presley. I feel like Presley works a little bit better than, because my dad loves Clint Eastwood. Eastwood? Yeah. So those were the choices. I kind of prefer Presley. Like it fits him. But yeah, so Presley is actually a livered spot Dalmatian. So instead of having black spots, he actually has brown spots. So people get like, they're like, what? He has brown spots. He's a livered spot Dalmatian. That's why. So, fun fact. But yeah, a lot of dogs can tell when there's a leader in the area. And I always tell people, you want to be a leader, not an alpha, because that is... Yeah, they have brown spots. It's really interesting. I knew that, but I never knew there was like a term for it. But yeah, so the alpha debate is actually very outdated. If I remember correctly, I think that was even towards wolves originally. Like they were like, oh, wolves have alphas. That's actually not correct either, apparently. Because I read a research paper. Apparently, originally it was for chickens. Alphas were about chickens. And because chickens are assholes, let's be honest. So that just goes out the window. You want somebody to be a leader when it comes to dogs. And that's because they're going to more likely look for you for leadership. Yeah, alpha chickens. The paper that they kept citing was about chickens, apparently. So, yeah. But I always tell people, I'm like, would you rather have somebody come in? So let's say you're working this job, you worked there for 10 years, you get a new boss, and you're like, okay, like, hopefully they're chill. The boss comes in and is just like, I'm the boss, do this, that, and they're kind of like a complete asshole. You're not going to want to follow them. You're going to be, like, resentful, your productivity probably go down, you might spit in their coffee, I don't know. But if you're a leader, a real leader is going to come in and be like, hey, give me a rundown what's going on so I can, like, you know, get to know your workers and such, but also be able to lead properly without issue. Hang on. Would you fight 10 Presleys or 10 I would fight 10 failures. I would totally fight 10 failures. Presley would murder me. I have issues dealing with one of him. When he's in a fighting mood, I'm going down. But, so that's the same thing with dogs. Okay, so, okay, I wouldn't want to, wait, do I actually have to fight, or is it like a fight, and then, like, you know, like, nobody has to win? Because I'd rather deal with the Morkies than the Dalmatian. But anyways, I always tell people, your dog is going to be more likely to listen to you and look to you for guidance when you are a leader rather than being mean and aggressive. Okay. So this is Girl with the Dogs 2. She has another channel. I like her a lot because of, even though this isn't dog training, she does work with dogs that are usually more difficult and take a lot longer to deal with. For groomings and, like, some stuff she does. Banned? Who's banned? You're banned. We're all banned. Anyways, I'm gonna hide that. But yeah, I like them. I watch her stuff a lot. And my dad does too. But yeah. Okay, bye.
We are gonna learn some manners today. Come on. Come on. Come. Good, come. Sit. Okay.
This
That
is
is
very
not what we're gonna
common
do
for
today.
a lot
Sit.
of dogs at the groomers.
Good boy. Very good boy.
This is what I have to
good
deal
boy.
with my aunt's Maltese.
So you are definitely going to be a dog that tries to escape this shower the whole time,
Yeah.
especially once I turn on the water. Come here. Sit. 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 Good sit. So this is Danger's first grooming appointment. He is 4 years old. Let's see what happens. We're going to breathe. We are going to breathe. Good boy. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay, Danger. Good boy. Good boy. Very good. Yeah, your ears are back. You know, like this. But you're doing pretty good. Good boy, Danger. It's okay. Okay. You don't want to lick it either.
Danger.
I promise you it doesn't taste good. It's okay, Danger.
Presley hates.
It's okay,
Presley
Danger.
hates water. It is his
There
kryptonite.
we go.
I have to take him to the groomers because it's a 3-person job.
Danger. Danger.
We have a 2-person
Calm
bathroom
down.
for a 3-person job dog.
Calm down.
I sit in the tub holding him down while we wash Presley.
Oh my god.
So we take him to the groomers. He actually does well with the groomers
It's okay.
because
It's okay, sir.
I'm friends
Danger
with
had his nails
the
clipped
groomers
at the
I go
vet
to.
A couple of
I
weeks
used to work
ago,
with them,
and the owner said
and
it
they
was
don't-
a nightmare.
he knows they
was
don't,
very,
fuck
very
around.
stressed. So I have a feeling that nail clipping is not going to be doable today. but
Roscoe
we'll
is
see.
actually
We'll
pretty good
always
with the
try.
baths. He just hates me
Based off of
taking
the
him
way
to the groomers,
he's
so I just do
reacting
it at
for the
home now.
shower. I also think the blow dryer might be a problem. I never know how dogs are really going to react until I bring them in here. So it's not like the owner told me that he
Oh,
was going
yep,
to
his-
be
oh,
difficult or
bleeding.
very stressed. He said he
Probably
normally
bit his
whines
tongue.
for a bath at home, which is pretty typical for most dogs. So that doesn't really tell me much.
Probably his tongue
okay.
or something.
It's okay. No, 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 no.
Which happens with dogs like this. They're freaking out.
Okay, you're okay, buddy. Good boy. Good boy.
Very stressed.
Hey! No, no.
Vocal.
Well, he didn't really react this way when I first turned the water on and touched him with it. If I had noticed he was going to react this way, I probably would not have turned it to soap. Okay, sir.
I think
Stop
part of the
drinking
reason.
it. It doesn't taste good. No.
I think part of the reason why he's acting that way, he probably hit
No.
his mouth on his tongue on the nozzle.
Okay, good
Because his tongue was
boy.
bleeding, so he probably
Boy.
stressed out from that.
Good boy.
Very stressed.
Relax. Okay, relax. You're okay, buddy.
Ears are kind of, you know.
Okay, so for obvious reasons, I am not going to wash his face.
Yeah.
Right, it's okay. Instead, what I'm going to do is get the ducky, and I'm going to finish
ducky?
shampooing him with the ducky, and then I'm going to try to rinse him with the hose without the nozzle.
Yeah.
Maybe he will be less
So he's probably
afraid
stressed
if I don't
before
use
the nozzle hit his
nozzle.
tongue, because he, like I said,
It's
he was
okay.
bleeding.
He has to work
a
through
bit.
his anxiety.
So he's
because
probably
if we
like,
just
"Oh my gosh,
stop bathing
this is
him
horrible.
completely,"
It hurt
obviously
me."
For safety purposes, if the
So-
dog is being extremely difficult, we shouldn't continue for their safety and for my safety. But if I can get him to work through it and realize that it's actually not so scary,
Yeah.
that'll be beneficial for future baths. And it doesn't mean that he'll be going to a groomer, but even just beneficial at home for future baths,
Right.
especially in the summertime when you typically bathe your dog outside with the hose. Good boy. It's okay. Good boy. Good boy. I see that side eye and I'm paying attention to it.
Yeah,
All the drama
so
for
the
no
side
reason.
eyes, sometimes they're
okay.
thinking of, what if I do
I'm
this?
assuming that that's what you did when they tried to clip your nails. Would that be
They nip.
accurate? Would that be a true statement? Okay, this could feel nice.
very-
See? Every shepherd loves the
tense.
spot scratched. Every shepherd I've ever owned loves the spot scratched.
It is true. I
don't
don't
know
know why.
Yeah.
Siri, no. Bad Siri.
Stop being so scared, okay? Good boy.
Siri's trying to
Have
start
some correlation to some positives in the bath, and if that means scratching his itchy spot because he likes it. Okay,
Another thing is, I noticed German Shepherds have a lot of allergies. Like, my German Shepherd I had was allergic to everything. She shedded so she shed so much that we had to vacuum like twice a day. It was horrible. Still had a full coat of fur, crazily enough, but
your life
we're
is
gonna-
over. Your life is over.
Man, I wish my Dalmatian acted like this when I gave him
How
a bath.
dare I
though.
give you a bath?
My Dalmatian would be like,
Okay, I just want to make sure all
Clawing
the
at my
soap is gone.
face.
Can I please check? Come over here. Okay. I'm shutting it off. Calm down. Come over here. I have to towel you off. Come on. Over here. Big burp. Come here. Okay. I'm gonna get a towel dry. Can
I
you
like
handle
her, but
that?
she
Where's
doesn't let the dog
sandpaper?
like tell her what to do. But she's not forceful, if that makes sense.
Oh. It's
My
okay.
dog does that. It makes me so angry because I'm just like, you're fine, and then he's just like, nah, I'm gonna do this
It's
like
almost done.
right in your face.
And then I'm gonna let you run around this shop. Yeah. And I'm gonna follow you around with the blow dryer because I know that you are not going to behave on that table. This is gonna be fun. Are you loony?
Let's see how this.
We're
goes.
definitely not doing his nails because I can't get him on the table and there's no way I'm fighting him on the floor. No chance.
That's a big dog.
Okay, you're gonna hate this.
That's literally what I do with Roscoe. I lock him in a room. I'm just get back here with the blow dryer.
Boy, no.
Yeah, so sometimes what she does is she puts a little hoodie on over their ears so it's not as loud. So they're not as stressed, but like with how he's acting, I wouldn't do that because he's probably very sensitive with his ears, like most dogs are, and I wouldn't want to get bit. I need this kind of blow dryer for my dogs. That would make my life so much easier. I remember one time, like, I started washing my dog, or bathing Roscoe. He's a small dog. He was less than me. So, I was trying to blow dry him, because I was going to take him up, after Presley got his bath, take him up there to, get his nails clipped. And it was so funny because of, one of the workers, one of my old co-workers, that does Presley's bath, we'll call her T. She's just like, did you not dry him up? I'm like, I did. He's been wet for 3 hours.
No.
I've been blow drying him. It won't work. Help me. So she blow dried him for me.
Is that getting you far?
So I gave her a good tip. I was like, yeah, no, please help me.
Dangerous. No. Cat, you like it. Don't pretend like you don't.
The dog's like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought. The dog's just like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
this
you
is
like it,
fine.
freaking weirdo.
I've had dogs that done that. They're like, ah, screaming for their life, and they're like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. I'm gonna fast forward a bit. To the back. Oh crap! I
Not
forgot to
everything is
brush
scary.
Roscoe out today.
He says everything is scary. Absolutely
Roscoe
everything.
hates
Come here.
being brushed for some weird reason.
Can you sit?
Like, he's okay with the first, like,
Sit.
7 brushes, and then he loses his
Boy.
mind.
He's still a little bit damp, but for a dog that was this scared, I am happy with the outcome. Because he could have not been dried at all, depending on how things
That's true.
went. So, gotta give you a good brush. No whining. I'm really happy with how much this dog's demeanor changed. Stand. You stand. Good boy. From the beginning when he first arrived, jumping at the door. No.
Your parents' dogs don't like getting brushed. Oh my gosh.
He was jumping at the door. He was
It's so
crying.
funny. Because Presley
wouldn't take
barely
any
has hair.
treats from me.
He's very, very short
was
hair.
very scared.
Roscoe has, like, a little bit less hair than this.
Really? Are
Dog,
you gonna
like,
prove
in
me
length.
wrong? You did so
And-
well.
Presley will come over, and I have, like, a horse-type brush for him. Just to kind of, like... It's not a horse brush, but, you know, it's like
You're such a
that.
baby.
Brush him out, like, with that. But Roscoe gets, like, that
Fortunately,
because he
he's
sheds a
actually
lot.
not shedding
And he loses
that bad, especially
his
for a
mind.
shepherd. I mean, a ton of
Drives me
hair
nuts.
did come out of him with the dryer, especially in his back end and in his chest. But otherwise, I feel like we've pretty much got it
You're
all.
like getting brushed on one side
No,
and your
no,
belly.
No.
I love that.
No.
That sounds about right, though.
Sir, I know you want the treats, but you have to wait. Nope. Nope. You stay seated. Drama llama. You are so dramatic. That's it for Danger. Make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button, and I'll see you again in a few days.
But yeah, I just like whenever I watch her videos, just because it shows like, because you don't think you use like dog training or grooming a lot, and it's crazy how much there actually is in that. I'm switching over here. Hang on. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. I had a lot of fun, and I kind of want to do this more. I'm going to put a poll up probably to see how many people would be interested with me doing these kind of videos. I think next week I am going to do like a different type of reaction video, but I will see you guys on Friday for some more PC building simulator. And you guys have a great one. Have a great week. Bye, guys.